Why do you keep taking trades you promised yourself you wouldn't take? You saw the setup, it wasn't clean, it wasn't your plan, and yet your finger moved anyway. If that's ever happened to you, and if you're honest, it has, then what you're about to hear will change the way you see every trade you take from this point forward. Because there's one emotion, one single emotion, hiding behind almost every impulsive trade you've ever made. And most traders never find it. They blame the market, they blame their strategy, they blame bad luck. But the truth is quieter than that, and far more uncomfortable. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that emotion. We're going to look at where it comes from, why it hijacks your decisions faster than logic can stop it, and more importantly, how you finally take your power back. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't look at your next impulsive trade the same way again. Let's begin. Point 1. The emotion isn't greed. It's fear disguised as urgency. Most traders think impulsive trades come from greed, from wanting more, from chasing a bigger win. But that's not what's actually happening in your nervous system in that split second. What's actually happening is fear. Fear of missing something. Fear that if you don't act right now, the opportunity disappears forever. Psychologists call this a scarcity response. Your brain treating an opportunity like it's the last one you'll ever get. Think about it. When you took that impulsive trade, did it feel exciting or did it feel urgent, almost frantic? That's the tell. Greed feels like pulling something toward you. Fear feels like grabbing before it's too late. And here's the deeper layer. Your brain doesn't distinguish between missing a trade and missing a meal. To your nervous system, scarcity is scarcity. It triggers the same ancient survival circuitry that once kept your ancestors alive. Except now, instead of protecting you from a predator, it's dragging you into a trade you never planned to take. This is why logic doesn't work in the moment. You can't outthink a fear response with a rulebook, because fear doesn't ask permission. It moves first and asks questions later. Point 2. You are not addicted to winning. You are addicted to certainty. Here's something almost no one talks about. The impulsive trade isn't really about the money. It's about ending the discomfort of not knowing. Uncertainty is one of the most unbearable states for the human mind. Studies on anxiety show that people will often choose a worse but certain outcome over a better but uncertain one, simply because uncertainty itself feels unbearable. So when price is moving, when the chart is alive, when everyone in your head is asking, is this the move? Is this it? Your mind doesn't actually want to win. It wants the tension to stop. And clicking buy or sell does exactly that. It converts an unbearable maybe into a bearable yes or no, even if that yes or no is a loss. This is why so many traders feel a strange relief the moment they enter a bad trade. Not joy, relief, because the not knowing is finally over. If you've ever felt calmer after an impulsive entry, even while later regretting it, this is why. You weren't chasing profit, you were escaping ambiguity. And once you see that, you realize discipline was never about controlling greed. It was about learning to sit inside uncertainty without needing to resolve it immediately. Point 3. Your identity is quietly writing your trades before you are. This one is subtle, but it might be the most important point in this entire video. Every trader carries an invisible self-image, a quiet belief about who they are in the market. I'm someone who catches big moves. I'm someone who doesn't miss out. I'm someone who's smarter than the crowd. These identities feel harmless, even motivating. But here's the problem. Your brain will always act in ways that protect your identity, even when that identity is working against you. If deep down you believe, I'm the type of trader who seizes opportunity, then missing a move doesn't just feel like a missed trade. It feels like a threat to who you think you are. and the mind will do almost anything to defend identity, including overriding logic, ignoring your rules, and clicking that button just to stay consistent with the story it's telling about you. This is called identity protective cognition in psychology. We don't just protect our money, we protect our self-concept, often at the expense of our money. So ask yourself honestly, when you took your last impulsive trade, was it about the setup, or was it about proving something to yourself? Most traders don't fix their trading by learning a new strategy. They fix it by quietly rewriting who they believe they are. Point 4. Your nervous system remembers pain faster than your mind remembers rules. You can know your rules perfectly. You can recite your strategy in your sleep and still take the impulsive trade. Why? Because rules live in the slow thinking part of your brain, but impulsive trades are triggered by the fast emotional part, the part shaped by memory, not logic. If you've ever missed a big move and felt that gut punch of regret, your nervous system encodes that pain, not as a lesson, as a threat. And the next time a similar setup appears, your body reacts before your mind even finishes reading the chart. It's not analysis, it's a memory of pain, trying to protect you from feeling that way again. This is why traders often say, "I know better, but I still did it." Because knowing and reacting live in two different systems. One is educated, the other is reflexive. And this is also why willpower alone rarely fixes impulsive trading. You're not fighting a lack of knowledge. You're fighting a stored emotional memory that fires faster than conscious thought. The traders who finally break the cycle don't just learn more strategy. They learn to recognize the physical sensation, the tightness, the heat, the urgency, the moment it begins. Because once you feel it in your body before you feel it in your decision, you get your power back. Point 5. The final layer. Impulsive trades are your mind trying to feel powerful again. This is the deepest layer of all. After a loss, after a drawdown, after a string of red days, something happens psychologically that most traders never notice. You start to feel small, reactive, like the market is doing something to you instead of you participating in it. And the human mind hates feeling powerless, so it looks for the fastest way to feel powerful again. Not the healthiest way, the fastest way. An impulsive trade gives an illusion of control, a feeling of, I'm taking action, I'm back in charge, I'm not just sitting here losing. Even if the trade itself is reckless, the psychological payoff is instant. You feel like you did something. This is the same mechanism behind revenge trading. It's not really about winning the money back. It's about winning back a feeling. The feeling of being capable, of being in control, of not being a victim of the chart. And once you see impulsive trading as an attempt to restore a feeling of power, not a financial decision at all, everything changes. You stop trying to fix it with more rules, and you start asking a better question. What do I actually need right now that isn't a trade? Sometimes the answer is rest. Sometimes it's stepping away from the screen. Sometimes it's simply naming the feeling out loud. I feel powerless right now. Because naming an emotion, psychologists have found, measurably reduces its intensity. This is called affect labeling, and it's one of the simplest, most underused tools in a trader's entire toolkit. So let's bring it all together. Every impulsive trade you've ever taken was never really about the setup on the chart. It was fear disguised as urgency. It was an escape from unbearable uncertainty. It was your identity protecting a story about who you believe you are. It was a stored memory of pain moving faster than logic. And underneath it all, it was a quiet attempt to feel powerful again after feeling small. None of this makes you weak. It makes you human. Every trader, no matter how experienced, carries these same wires. The difference between someone who struggles for years and someone who finally trades with peace isn't that one has more discipline than the other. It's that one has learned to see the emotion before it becomes the trade. So here's your takeaway. The next time you feel that pull, that urgency, that itch, that I have to act right now feeling, pause, just for 5 seconds, and ask yourself one question. What am I actually feeling right now? Not what the chart is doing, what you are feeling. Because the moment you can name the emotion, you take away its power to drive you. That single pause, 5 seconds, one honest question, is the real edge. Not a better indicator, not a better strategy, a quieter mind that can finally see itself clearly in the middle of the storm. If this video helped you see your own trading a little differently, that's exactly why this channel exists. We're not here to give you another strategy. We're here to help you understand the mind behind every trade you take. Because once you master that, the strategy finally starts to work the way it was always meant to. Subscribe to The Inner Edge if you want to keep going deeper into the psychology behind your trading. And I'll see you in the next one.